Hi there, this is Ro with our very first Flip staff meeting of the school year. Lynn and I have a lot of information to share with you, so we decided to send it out to you before Tuesday so that we can maximize and make the most use of our time on Tuesday for our staff kickoff, in addition to giving you some time in your classroom. So welcome to Beulah Park Elementary, or I should say beautiful Beulah Park Elementary. So we're going to go ahead and get started. But before we get started, I wanted to make sure to show you and make note that if you want to be able to see things a little bit better, to put your screen in present mode. So in order to do that, you would go over here to the right-hand side here, click present, and voila, it makes it a little bit bigger for you to be able to see. And plus there's videos embedded in here. So in order to play those videos, you would want to put it in present mode. So here we go. Beautiful Beulah hashtag squad to the rescue. So if there's a problem, have no fear. The beautiful Beulah hashtag squad is here to solve it, along with some yummy chocolate. Because we know when we all need those times for just a little bit of a chocolate break. On this slide, you will see Lynn's info and my info, our cell phone. So if you need to get in contact with us, you can feel free to call or text us. Also, our direct extension numbers in case, we're in here in the office and you need to get a hold of us while we're here in the building. Also, you have the lovely Office Diva Squad of Carol and Don. Carol is here full day. Don is here from around 7:30 to 11:30 each day. Also, in addition to this information, if you have any absences or you know you're going to be absent, make sure you put that in ASAP. However, we all know emergencies arise, like maybe the night before you get sick or you're not feeling well. If that happens, make sure you still use ASAP, but make sure you text and or call Lynn to let her know that you're going to need a sub. In addition, call the Office Diva Squad. Their information is down here as well too. So welcome to our beautiful Beulah hashtag squad. We're here to help and support you in any way that we can. So welcome back. We have some new staff members for the school year. We have Ben Shorey, who has been in the district, but he's taking on the road of being the SPED facilitator for this year, where he is going to be facilitating most of the IEP meetings along with Patty, who you'll get a chance to meet as well sometime throughout this year. We have Paige Vandenholten, who's becoming our social worker. Nancy Ray, who's MTSS, Kara Silgi, our SPED resource, Sarah Pearson, 3rd, 4th grade pals, Katie Crosswhite, who's 5th, 6th grade pals, Donna Goss, she's also 5th, 6th grade pals, and she's also coming to us from the district as well. She's coming over here to beautiful Beulah. Nicole McReynolds for 3rd grade, Sandra Thomas Lyon, who's also coming to us from Shiloh, Laura Cummins, who is going to be 6th grade, Michelle Swallow, who's 5th grade. Michelle used to be our library para here at beautiful Beulah, and now she's moving on up to 5th grade. Julie Grinsking, who's also doing 6th grade, and Julie, I apologize for butchering your name. Elroy Reed, who is our library para, and then myself, Ro Henson, who's the assistant principal. Welcome to the beautiful Beulah family. So the schedule for this week, it came out to you through Keeley a few weeks back. There have been a little bit of changes to some room assignments, so make sure you pay attention to the red there to know where you're supposed to go. Monday is our kickoff, which is going to be an awesome day where you can come for the complimentary breakfast. It is optional, but you do need to make sure you're in the cafeteria by 8:15 for our keynote speaker, who I'll get a chance to tell you about later on in this presentation. And then you'll head back on over here for Go Guardian. And then we'll head back over near Central and Shiloh to enjoy tasty lunch from fruit trucks. And then you'll head back over here for Success Maker training, and that's our day. Special education lab and pals, make sure you pay attention to where you guys are going to be going for the morning as well too. And then Tuesday is our content-based area in the morning. Make sure you pay attention to where you're going for that. Then we have lunch on our own. And then, yay, we have our staff kickoff over here at beautiful Beulah. We have some great activities planned for you to kick off our year. And then in the afternoon, we have meet and greet for 4:15 to 5:15. Then on Wednesday, dun dun dun, it's the first full day of school. Yay, the kids are here. They're coming. So we'll have our first full day. And then afterwards, we'll have a little bit of a staff review from Tuesday. And then you'll have the rest of the time to work in your room. So let's talk a little bit about the back to school meet and greet that we'll be having on Tuesday. It is from 4:15 to 5:15. The students come, they drop off their supplies, they meet you, they're excited to say hello, oh, that's my teacher. And then we're also going to have a family activity, which you'll have a chance to partake in next Tuesday during our staff kickoff for the families to be able to do. Upcoming dates, make sure you downloaded the calendar from the district site or our website to pay attention to those important dates, such as when the grading period ends, when progress reports are due, and of course, those vacation dates, so you know when you get a break. Other important things to remember, the MAP testing window is set from September 11th to the 22nd of September. We will be having more information. Lynn and I will have more information coming out when our students will be tested, what the rotation is going to look like. Informal observations are going to be completed by October 31st. Lynn and I will be contacting you in the upcoming weeks to let you know who your evaluator is and how that process is going to work for the school year. Student planners and handbooks, they are on the way. Once they get here, make sure you send them home with the students, and then we will set a date for when those parent and student sign-off sheets are due back to us here at Beautiful Beulah. Our Beautiful Beulah, our schedule is here. You should have already gotten a copy of it. If not, make sure you contact Lynn or myself. A huge shout out to Robin Daniil for helping put this schedule together. Your hard work and your dedication is greatly appreciated. Individual teacher class schedules, you all will be getting those by next Monday. There had to be a few tweaks worked out, but those will be coming to you by next Monday. And then there's just a little bit of information over here on the side about your school day, the start time, when staff you're expected to be here by, and when the end time is, when you can leave. But feel free to stay as long as you want and party on. Weekend access, you need a code for the alarm. So if you need to come in on the weekends, just let Lynn and I know, and we'll make arrangements for you. Class lists are a work in progress. Our beautiful Beulah hashtag squad, Office Diva squad, they've been working hard on that this past Friday. So those will be sent to you by Monday. And just know if your numbers are low, they may grow. So just to let you know, those are a work in progress. And lunch this year is in the gym. So yippee, no longer in your classroom. So some other tidbits to know as we get ready to start the year. Committees and coaching positions, if you're interested in joining any of the PBIS Tier 1 or Tier 2 committees, make sure you apply through Apple Track. The same with coaching, make sure you apply through there as well too. Lesson planning, some of you used Planbook last year. If you are interested in using that again, There's going to be a sign-up sheet in a Google Doc form that is going to be sent to you in the same email that you receive this presentation in. Just put your name down and we'll make sure that you guys get access to that. Purchase orders. You must get authorization before any purchase. The reimbursements, they're reserved for only authorized purchases. Please make sure you see the building secretary, Carol, for the paperwork, and then make sure you get approval from Lynn. And just one last little tidbit, PBIS, make sure we're spending our first couple of weeks establishing that positive culture and climate from day one with the cool tools that you have, positive reinforcement, and pride pause. New staff, if you have any questions about the cool tools, where to locate them, please make sure you contact Lynn or myself or any one of the veteran Beautiful Beulah staff members. We are all here to assist you. So, rolling into the new year, what's new? There are a lot of things that are new. So one of the things are flip meetings, which will be sometimes. And that is what is occurring right now, where we're sending this information out to you beforehand so you can know what is going to be taking place so that we can spend our time during the actual meeting applying our learning, engaging in the tools and resources that we want you to be able to utilize for our students. This is new, so any and all feedback is welcomed. So just let us know how you might like this format. We also have a new spot, or I should say spots. We have the cool down spot where it gives you the where it gives students the opportunity to regroup, refocus, and replan. It's like a second chance where they get an opportunity to have a second chance before more severe consequences are put into action. More information will be coming out about that in the upcoming weeks because we are finalizing the plans for that as well. There's curricular changes, which we'll talk about after this slide. And in addition to those curricular changes, we're going to be discussing having grade level meetings once a week, the technology changes, communication, how we are reaching out to our community, some social media type things we can start using. And one thing that we are going to touch on is the MTSS process. There's not information in here about the slide per se, but it's just to make you aware that there is a change in the process. And student services is rolling out that information and will be rolling out that information to the staff. Most of the resource teachers, the SPED teachers, they have information about how it's changed, but student services are going to be putting that information out to the staff so you know how PST meetings works and who's your point person in contact. And if you haven't noticed already, over here, you've seen this tree a lot. The reason for this tree is there's a lot of change this year. And change can be hard, let's be honest. It can be hard. But the thing we want to make sure that we're doing is we're embracing these opportunities that are being provided for us and our students so that we can unlock our potential and their potential and inspire excellence. So as we grow through this year, just remember there's going to be times where you want to give up, but just remember, don't say I can't. Say I can't yet, because we're going to embrace that opportunity, unlock our potential, and inspire those excellence. And when we fail, like I always like to say, we're going to fail forward. We're going to learn and grow from our mistakes. And that's what Lynn and I want us to be able to do as a family. So let's get started with our curriculum and instruction now. What's new? Well, we still have our teaching and learning department. However, there are a lot of new faces to this department. Amy Gannon, which some of you may know through the district, was the former principal at Lakeview. She is now taking on the head of Director of Teaching and Learning. And underneath her, or working alongside her and with her, we have some teaching and learning facilitators in addition to an instructional technology facilitator. So we'd love to welcome Melissa Epkert, who's going to be primarily focused on grades pre-K through 5. Susie Peterson, she's going to be focusing on teaching and learning for grades 6 through 8. And then Faith Smith, she's going to be working and focusing on instructional technology for grades pre-K through 8th. So we look forward to working with these lovely ladies as a team to help us be able to embrace our opportunities, unlock our potential, and to inspire excellence. In fact, Melissa and Faith, they will be coming over next week for our staff kickoff. And Amy's going to try to pop in here and there as well, too. What else is new with our curriculum is we have ReadyGen for grades 3 through 5. Yay, ReadyGen. So now all grades K through 5 are using ReadyGen. So yay, awesome sauce. What's also new is we have a second step social emotional program. The training for that program is going to take place on Wednesday, August 30th, and we're going to have a tentative start date for September 5th. The second step program is not replacing PBIS, our positive behavior and reinforcement system. It's there to support the social emotional side of PBIS to ensure that we're tapping into making sure we understand how our students are functioning, and to make sure they're understanding that they are when they come to school, they're here with the family as well too. If you take a look over here on the side here, this is the schedule of when second step will be taught. It will be taught after your lunchtime each day as an opportunity for students to calm down and also give them a chance to, if there's anything in the morning that happened, give them a chance to reflect about how their morning and how their day has gone. So be on the lookout for more information about that on our training on Wednesday, August 30th. Also, what we have going on for curriculum updates to let you know is we will still be having our PD Professional Development Wednesdays. Excuse my error there. The schedule will be sent out by Teaching and Learning in the upcoming weeks, so we know what our focus is going to be around, which in return will allow us to figure out when we're going to structure our grade level meetings one time a week. So if we have opportunities to do those grade level meetings in conjunction with Wednesday PD, so we don't have to have them outside a separate time. But we'll know more information about that when we get the Wednesday PD schedule. You'll get more information about the grade level team meetings, which leads us to the purpose of those is so that we can have purposeful, goal-oriented, and collaborative conversations for us and our students, because we want to be able to embrace those opportunities, unlock potential, and inspire excellence. And we also want to be able to do that beyond our grade level meetings. So we're going to talk about how we're going to start establishing that through a fun activity during our staff kickoff next week, next Tuesday. Also, what you see over here on the side are some books, a lot of books, and I accidentally went forward a little bit too quickly there, so let me go back. You see some books over here that Lynn and I are thinking about maybe doing a book study if you all are interested in doing that. We're going to be sending out a survey to kind of get a feel of if you all are interested. And if you are interested in doing that, we can tie some of that in to our Wednesday PD as well too. All these books that you see over here on the side, I have copies of Row. So they'll be in my office next week for you to come and take a look and peek, just so you can be thinking about, that looks interesting. There's Nice Bike by the author who is going to be presenting. He's actually going to be, Mark is going to be our keynote speaker on Monday, so you'll get a chance to hear from him. There's Teach Like a Pirate, which allows us to think about, what we're currently doing in our teaching profession or our teaching role and how we can enhance it, not change it, enhance it. Because I know myself, I've been in the game for 15 years. I want to know, what can I do to enhance what I currently am using? Because I consider myself to be a lifelong learner. And kids deserve it is along that same pathway as well, too. What can we do to enhance what we have? Not change it, but enhance. And there's Reteaching and Teaching Students in Poverty, which is an awesome book. It talks about how we can erase that opportunity gap so that we can have our students achieve. And right now, we are, as a district, on that pathway to be able to erase that opportunity gap by giving our students and providing them with tech resources and the curriculum and the trainings that we need as educators to make sure that we're unlocking our students' potential. So stay tuned for more information about these books and also about the PD schedule once we hear back from Teaching and Learning. So up next, we have updates about technology. Woohoo! Keep calm and tech on. So we're going one-to-one this year. Kindergarten will be receiving iPads. Grades 1 through 8 will be receiving Chromebooks. Now, new technology, it can be intimidating. Trust me, I know. However, as you look at the little sayings over here, don't worry if it doesn't work as expected. Learn to embrace it. Use it for a purpose. And that's what we're all here to do with you this year, is to make sure that, you have those supports. And so with that being said, there was a role created where Jeremy Wickham is our coordinator of academic technology. Jeremy is really awesome. He has a wide depth of knowledge for tools and uses for technology. And we're so excited to have him part of our district and also part of our beautiful Beulah family as well, too. So if you ever get stuck in a rut, reach out to any of us, myself, Jeremy, our teaching and learning facilitators. If you click on the little video in this window here, Jeremy has a little short video to introduce himself, and I recommend that you play it because it is pretty funny, especially maybe some of you who have been in the general technology trainings this week. You got a chance to see Jeremy in action. So welcome, Jeremy. So these next slides are going to be focusing on the type of support we're going to be receiving for technology with the rollout of the one-to-one devices. Jeremy has been so graciously and put together videos to be able to show you what the structure looks like, how device management is going to be working. So these next few slides, you won't hear my beautiful voice as much because it's for you to click play and be able to listen to the type of support that is going to be provided, and also for you to refer back to throughout the year as well too. So this first slide here is to hear about the support structure, the people structure of who's in charge of what for this year. So click play so you know who the key players are in the technology department for the year. Give me a chance. We're going to go on to the next slide. The next slide is about our building level support team for the year. As you can see here briefly on this video, Brandon Victorian, he is going to be our building tech support. He's going to be splitting his time between Shiloh and Beulah. A schedule should be coming out. You can press play to hear more about how they will be supporting our needs. And they're the ones who are there to support when you have issues with tech screens and whatnot, but make sure you submit a help desk ticket. slide here talks about the one-to-one device deployment, how it's all going to work out. So make sure you watch this slide so you can hear all that. Next slide here talks about your role in the one-to-one device management. One thing I briefly want to stop and touch on is this tidbit in red right here is to make sure you assign your students a number. And this is a number that they'll use throughout the whole entire school year that will identify their number slot for their computer and their headphones. So say, for example, Rose in your classroom and I get number one. Well, whenever I go to grab my device, I'm always going to grab the device from slot one. Whenever I go to get my headphones, I'm going to get the headphones that are in baggie number one, however you might have it set up. And you could also tie this in if you have any other way that you are supporting your students with identifying things that they have to do, like lunch cards, or if you're passing back, like if they have to put their numbers on their papers. Here talks about the repair process for if your students' devices need to be repaired. Please make sure that you listen and pay very close attention to this slide because the process has changed. So please make sure that you really listen to this video. And up next, last but not least, what we have to talk about are technology walkthroughs. Jeremy and his team are going to be walking throughout the building just to make sure that you and your students have what you need, that the equipment is being maintained, it's being taken care of. If there's issues, to be aware of those issues and be able to communicate that to us as the building level team and also as the district level team, and to avoid testing difficulties. When it's not going to be every single day. The goal is to be at the end of each grading quarter. In the beginning, with the rollout devices, you might see them a little bit here and there, but the plan is to do it consistently at the end of the grading quarter. That's all there is about technology right now. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put it on that Google Doc that was sent out in the email as this presentation. So let's move on. Something else that's new this year is communication and community outreach. One thing you might have been seeing on some of the slides is hashtag ZD6 be the change, or either hashtag beautiful Beulah or hashtag bulldog pride. The reason for these hashtags is because we're working on our communication channels for this year through the outlet of social media to reach out to our community a little bit more because social media has become such a large presence in our daily world right now. One of the things is Facebook. We started a Facebook page last year. However, we're going to be using that a little bit more this year to communicate with our families and the community. Twitter, which we'll talk about a little bit more on the next few slides. You're still going to use email, phone, text messages. What's going to be new and rolled out in the fall is Zion is going to have their own mobile app to be able to be published and pushed out for families and pretty much anybody in our community. Also, what's new this year is we're talking about rebranding. All this is part of rebranding Zion District 6. And if you take a look, our logo has changed here thanks to Donnell, our new communications coordinator, is we're talking about branding, the look and the feel of our district. And all these communication channels are part of that branding. And we want to make sure that we're telling our story. We're telling our story to our community so they can learn about not only our district, but all the great things we have happening here at beautiful Beulah. So, one of the things is to have an internal campaign. You've been seeing that hashtag, ZD6 Be the Change. It's an internal initiative, like I said in the previous slide, to highlight the learning and teaching that are going on in your classroom, to share all the great things we have. If you are on Twitter, you can tweet out and share the things that you are doing. Just make sure if kids are in the picture, that they have the form signed off saying that it's okay, excuse me, it's okay to use their pictures for public release. And when you tweet out, make sure you're using that hashtag ZD6 Be the Change. You can also use the hashtag Beautiful Beulah or the hashtag the hashtag Bulldog Pride. Sorry, had to take a little break there for the tickle in my throat. But let's continue on. So, social media communication channels for Beulah. The two social media channels that we are going to be using for this year are Facebook and Twitter. We already have our Facebook page set up and ready to go. So if you're on Facebook and you haven't already done so, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook. You can click on the link after you take the presentation out of present mode if you do have it in present mode. If you're on Twitter, follow and tweet with us on Twitter. Right now, myself, Fro, I'm on Twitter at rhenson80. Lynn will be on Twitter soon. She'll be on Twitter in the next coming weeks. Tweet out at ZD6PR because that's where they will retweet any information you're sharing about the school. You can also follow Zion District 6. Beulah will have a Twitter handle coming soon, but right now we're just starting off slow and small. Some Twitter hashtags to use when you tweet out is hashtag ZD6 Be the Change, hashtag Beautiful Beulah, hashtag Bulldog Pride. We will be having a session where we'll be working with Jeremy to work with us on our Twitter campaign here at Beautiful Beulah. He was going to come over to our staff kickoff next Tuesday, but we're going to schedule some Wednesday PD time for him to come and explain what Twitter is and how you can use it for professional and personal use. And it's recommended that when you're tweeting stuff here at school, you have a professional Twitter account. So, for example, my Twitter account is nothing but professional. I use my Facebook as kind of like my personal and social media. And also, Twitter is awesome to connect with other people who are like you because there's tons of great ideas to build your professional learning network. And we'll have more conversations about this throughout the year so you can understand how to use Twitter, how not to be afraid of it, and how to embrace it. So, with that said, we have this communication that we're trying to reach our community. So, with that, we are seeking a PR ambassador or ambassadors. Right now, myself, Ro, I'm taking on the lead initiative for that for our building. However, I would love to have some people who are interested in working alongside me to share all the great things we're doing here. And have no fear, even if you're new to Twitter or Facebook, no worries. I got you covered. We'll take it slow and I'll help you out. So, if you're interested in working alongside me to share the story of the building, it is a year-long commitment for this year. You work closely with administration, myself in particular, and Lynn too. We cover events, we complete the news submittals, and we meet periodically with the communications department. Also, being a PR ambassador also helps fulfill that domain for requirement. So if you're interested, make sure you sign up on the Google Doc that was shared in the email for this presentation. So we're getting to the near end of our presentation right now. And right now, some of you are like, huh? Whoa, what have I gotten myself into? Or some of you might be like, oh my gosh, there's so much. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Or some of you might be ready to just crawl up in a corner and cry. Or some of us might be like, yes, I'm so ready for this. Yes, I can take it all on. So, just a few reminders here, because we all are going to have those emotions sometime in some way throughout this year. It's just to make sure we lean and we rely on each other. And on the next few slides are some guiding principles to help us navigate our way on this journey through our feelings that we might be having this year. And trust, Lynn and I have these feelings as well too. In fact, we've already had them over these past 3 weeks. But here are some guiding principles that we have really sat down and reflected on that will help our beautiful family get through this. So, guiding principle number 1, make sure you relax, relate, and release, the 3 R's. We know that the more we learn, I need to learn more. I need to learn more. I got to learn this. I got to learn that. Just relax, relate to what you can, and release. Our next guiding principle that we talked about is we always think our journey, oh, it's going to be straight and narrow. But in reality, no, we go through these ups, downs, twists, and turns. Well, one of our mottos we talked about is to trust and adjust. And that's something that myself, Ro, I live throughout my daily life, whether it's here at work or at home, personal, whatever, is make sure that we can trust the process and make those adjustments along the way. That's the beauty about education, is we can make those adjustments to make sure that we're embracing our opportunities, unlocking our potential, and inspiring our excellence. And also just know when we fail, make sure we fail forward. We learn and we grow from our mistakes. We just don't say, oh, I'm done. No, we keep going. We think about, okay, that didn't work. What can we think of next? Guiding principle 3, don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. There's fear. There's always fear with failure, but you never know unless you try. And we want to make sure we're having that same premise that we're expecting our kids to have as well too. Guiding principle 4, just note to self, when all else, just breathe. Take the time and breathe. Take the time to do something that will relax you. If you have to remove yourself, take the time to do that. Invest in yourself and just breathe. Everything is going to be okay because you have the support of our beautiful Beulah family. So thank you for your time in our very first flipped meeting. We hope you enjoyed it. Excuse my missteps along the way. Hopefully I'll get better along the way. I took that fear out and I tried something new, so hopefully it works out. We're looking forward to having an amazing year here at beautiful Beulah. Just remember our little tree. Make sure we embrace our opportunities, unlock our potential, and inspire our excellence. We are going to have a great, great, great year. And don't forget, if you have any questions, make sure you put it on that Google Doc. Or if you're not comfortable accessing that Google Doc, just feel free to email Lynn and myself. Email both of us and we'll get on it for you. But Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation, and we are so ready for this school year. Go Bulldogs!